guys, this is Son of Liberty here. I'm on my way to Georgia to take a Handgun 2 course with the department I've trained with before. I trained with these guys several years ago, back when Haley Strategic hosted one of their courses there. They got a great team of guys and one of the most beautiful courses that I've ever been to. I've shot at a couple different ranges in my day, and by far they have one of the nicest courses. So I've taken a lot of other handgun courses before. This will be, I guess, my first Handgun 2, but I wanted to share this this adventure with you guys and my subscribers, so hopefully we can pick up on some knowledge together. If you're debating about taking a course, you know, don't spend the money. You know, I'm a big advocate of doing your research and taking courses from people that you know, have a good solid background, because you know, this is something that you should take extremely serious, because this is your life, man. So anyway, I just want to let all you guys know, at least my subscribers, that I picked up a new camera. That's what I'm talking to you guys on today. So hopefully the video quality as well as the audio is going to get a lot better, and I look forward to showing you guys some of the footage from the Handgun 2 course. Anyway, see you guys there.
You know, people say when in practice, I feel bad when I don't hit one round on top of each other. Well, you know, when you get hit with something, even, you know, shot or you break something, what does your body do? Your body goes and sends what? Adrenaline to help the pain stop, right?
Dopamine kicks in.
You know, so if you keep hitting at the same spot, what good is that doing? So we want to hit it here, hit it here, hit it here, hit it here, hit it here. So, you know, some of y'all say, well, I'm not hitting the same spot over and over when I'm shooting on the big target. You don't want to hit them on the same spot. Get them bleeding as quick as you can, as fast as you can in different places. Yep. Make them hurt all over.
Sniper Craft puts out, they do a lot of police-involved shootings, that sort of thing. You have this box that shows up here that you can see, and you have this cranial vault area. What happens is it's not quite as defined as these sharp corners, that sort of thing. What you have is you have more of a V shape that goes on. And like Melissa was talking about, Patrick was shot in the face, and it came out the back of his neck, and he still lived, because Patrick was shot just underneath that cranial vault area, the actuality of it as it comes down. So when you start talking about eyes, you know, you're looking at nose, you're looking at mouth, you see how that V starts getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Less and less opportunity to sever that spinal column, to hit that medulla, to just turn off that central nervous system without any sympathetic response. So, but the higher up you get into it, forehead, eyes, nose, now all of a sudden your margin of error can increase. And when we're talking about pistol shooting and high stress situations, that's what you're looking at. You're looking at that area right there. Now, it can be debilitating, obviously, to get shot in the face and it just shatter your cheekbones and whatever else, but that upper quadrant is what you're looking for, because that pressure that goes inside that cavity just scrambles the brain, shuts down the central nervous system. This drill, we're always going to start in the chest cavity, because that's where we always shoot. Initial round, center mass, reassess, right? If the center mass isn't working and our reassessment's happening, you can still be shooting during this process, during this reassessment. Oh shit, this ain't working. Jump up, go into the face area, right? cut that pie, one thing that's happening is you're processing that section of the pie. You're having to scan it for threats. You're looking for anything in that section. If you just bust around the corner, now you have to process all of that. But by cutting the pie and taking little bites of it, you're able to process that stuff more thoroughly. And then once you do have a threat, then you're able to zero in on that threat quicker. So what she's going to do now is 2 hands. Put your ears on. First thing we're going to have her do is she's going to go to her strong side, which is right side. She's going to process around until she gets a clear shot, making sure that her muzzle's clear of the barricade so that she doesn't shoot the barricade and get that splash black on her if it's some kind of masonry structure. Now she's going to transition and start cutting the pie going the opposite direction. Look where she's making the transition. She's making it behind cover. Once that weapon's on, ready to shoot, ready to fire, that's when she rolls out.
Anytime you do anything behind cover, say if you have to come back and do a tap, roll back, do it behind cover and get your gun out and ready before you come back out. Same thing if you reload behind cover, reload, punch the gun out, then start your movement instead of, just makes sense, doesn't it?
Right side.
Right step behind cover.
There you go. That'll wait a while. Keep fighting. He's moving. Bust him, he's getting back up. There you go, go. There you go. Scanner assist.
Good job. Clear the bumper.
And that's what we're training you to do now. And that's what you've taken an interest in and spent money to do. So you think enough about it to prepare yourself. You have to survive the initial encounter, but then you have to survive the second iteration of that, and that's the after the fact. Personally, you have to deal with the fact that a human being was actively trying to kill you, which can be pretty traumatic in itself. Secondary to that, you have to deal with the civil and legal and possible criminal ramifications that come out of that. And the more prepared you are beforehand, if we can talk about it in this relaxed environment, and we start getting you to thinking about things and kind of directing your thought process, to your own research that you do, your own reading that you do. That's why in our intro to handgun class, that's why we have the legal brief. That's probably one of the best reviewed things that we have, because it allows people to sit down with a seasoned prosecutor and go, what if, or how about, or what about this, or I heard that, is that true? And it's a sounding board to bounce it off of. And like I said, you know, we train you in how we've been trained and how we've applied this throughout our careers. Mine is over the past 22 years. I've lived it, I've breathed it, I've researched it, I've sat in classes and seminars, and you know, we've gone from this was a good idea to do then to it played out a few times in the court systems and in the field in blood that wound up being, maybe that's not a good idea, maybe we need to tweak it a little bit. And we think enough of what we train you to do and what we're teaching you, that we are, as part of taking this class, that you wind up in a deadly force situation in a shooting, we're going to stand right there next to you, and we're going to get up on that stand, and we're going to testify to how you were trained and why you were trained.
And also get into, before, you know, we're talking about a lot of times you're into it. Sometimes you don't have time to react and give verbalization to an encounter to someone, because it can happen very quickly and very violently, you know. But on the aspect of, if you have the time to tell someone, get away from me, stop, drop the gun, drop the knife, whatever else. There's been many documented cases where witnesses said, I was down the street and I heard this lady yell, drop the gun, get away from me.
Don't do this to me.
Don't do this to me. Then heard gunshots. They heard it from the next house over.
You're making witnesses. You're bettering your case. You're bolstering your position by doing that. You're setting yourself up on the back end, but on the front end, what I've been talking about all day is dealing with that stress, that hormone-induced stress, that adrenaline. One thing you're doing is, if you're talking, you're breathing. If you're breathing, you're putting oxygen in your system. You're forcing yourself to breathe. And if you're yelling, stop, why are you doing this to me? Don't stop, stop, stop. You're getting ahead.
You want to be able to basically control the process. So after the shooting happens, while you're all jacked up and everything's going nuts and everything, that's the last time that you want to sit down and talk to somebody who's probably going to be recording it and setting up a baseline of what happened. Because you're emotionally, you're not in any kind, or intellectually, you're not in any kind of shape to do that. So it's much better to say, look, I want to tell you guys what happened. I just need some time to cool down. I need some time to process this, and you know, and we'll get back together a few days from now. In the interim period of time, you can call your lawyer or a lawyer or whatever, and then they can be your mouthpiece. When the lawyer talks to law enforcement, that doesn't get used against you. So when I say, well, I think that, you know, the facts happened like this, if later they think they can prove differently, it doesn't matter what I said, because it's not first-hand information. Same thing goes for these guys acting essentially on your behalf. As the lawyer, I can go to the prosecutor if they're, you know, if it's some question about what happened, and say, look, you know, this guy, you know, didn't just buy a pistol and stick it in his pants and go around looking for trouble. He took the proactive step of getting trained in how to do this. If you've got any questions about that training, you can talk to A, B, C, and D. They're the ones who trained him, and then you know, at that point you've got two things. Number one, it's not just them bringing it to you. Now you've got assets and allies that can basically speak on your behalf to either the prosecutor or the police officers or whoever it is, and are going to speak their language, and they're going to know the right things to say, so that when law enforcement goes back to the prosecutor, they're going to go, yeah, this guy had training, he knew what he was doing, it was obvious that he had no choice, and they're going to be a lot more hesitant to go forward on something because they already know that you're prepared for it. Because you took that proactive step to get the training in the first place, but then you've also got allies on your side that are going to be fighting for you. So that's a huge service.